Isn't it amazing how many different types of plants and animals there are in the world? What's even more amazing is how different each species is from one another. Have you ever wondered how it is that polar bears became so good at surviving in the Arctic cold? Or how great white sharks became the predators of the sea? Over time, they and other animals of the earth have adapted to their surroundings. Adaptation is the process by which a species becomes better suited to its environment. We know by looking at the differences among animals that there are natural variations among individuals in a population. Some variations are considered favorable because they allow the individual a better chance of survival. What is camouflage? Camouflage is an adaptation that allows some animals to blend in with certain parts of their environment. Camouflage is also known as cryptic coloration. It increases the animal's chances of survival because it allows it to hide from predators. Camouflage can also help predator animals to sneak up on their prey. Predators use camouflage to make it hard for their prey to see them approaching. Over time, the species' coloring, texture, and markings have evolved to allow them to blend into their environment. Sometimes animals use camouflage to stand out against their environment too. They do this to send a clear warning to predators who may do them harm. Let's review what we have learned about camouflage. Question 1. What do we call the process by which a species becomes better suited to its environment? A. Metamorphosis. B. Differentiation. C. Adaptation. D. Photosynthesis. If you answered C, you know that adaptation is the process by which a species becomes better suited to its environment. Question 2. What do we call the adaptation that allows some animals to blend in with certain parts of their environment? A. Camouflage. B. Migration. C. Hibernation. D. Conservation. The correct answer is A. Camouflage is the adaptation that allows some animals to blend in with certain parts of their environment. Question 3. What is another name for camouflage? A. Gene expression. B. Cryptic coloration. C. Cellular differentiation. D. Organic reaction. The correct answer is B. Camouflage is also called cryptic coloration. Concealing coloration and countershading. Not all animals use camouflage in exactly the same way. Some species have fur whose color allows them to blend into backgrounds or environments of the same color. This type of camouflage is known as concealing coloration. There are many examples of this type of camouflage. Just look at the animals of the Arctic. Polar bears, snowy owls, and Arctic foxes are just a few of the Arctic animals whose fur helps ensure their survival. Polar bears use camouflage to hide from their prey. When we think of polar bears, we usually envision the massive white predator of the Arctic. But did you know that polar bears actually have black skin that is covered with an outer layer of fur that is hollow? This layer of hollow fur reflects visible light, just like a layer of snow would, and gives the polar bear's fur its white color. This gives the bears an advantage as they sneak on their prey. Polar bears hide easily against the icy snow of the Arctic. The Arctic fox also has become a master of camouflage. Like the polar bear, the Arctic fox's fur appears white against the winter snow. However, this clever fox takes concealing coloration a step further. As the seasons change from winter to summer, so does the color of the Arctic fox's fur. During the summer months, the fox's fur appears brown or gray and allows it to blend in with the rocks and plants that cover the Arctic. This allows the Arctic fox to sneak up on the rodents, birds, and fish that they hunt for survival. Many forest and woodland animals, like deer and squirrels, use concealing camouflage too. Their brown coloring helps them to blend into the trees and ground cover of their environment. Countershading is another way animals camouflage themselves. Countershading occurs when the upper part of an animal's body is a different color than the bottom part of the animal. Some species have evolved to use this adaptation because it changes the way shadows are created and allows them to blend in better with their environment. A wide variety of animals use countershading. The red squirrel uses the brown fur on its back to make it more difficult for predators to distinguish the squirrel from the ground. However, when the red squirrel is in a tree, the white fur on its belly allows it to blend in more easily with the sky above. Countershading can be found in the sea, too. Great white sharks use their countershading to keep themselves safe from predators and to hunt their prey. These sharks are difficult to see because from above, the dark color of their backs blend in with the dark, rocky surface of the ocean floor. From below, the white of the great white's underbelly is illuminated by sunlight, which makes the shark hard to detect because it blends in with the lighter water near the surface. Let's move from the fierce great whites to lovable penguins. Did you know that penguins use countershading as camouflage too? Penguins spend a great deal of time in the water. From above, their dark feathers help them to blend in with the dark water of the ocean floor. From below, the white feathers on their bellies help them to blend in with the lighter colored water near the surface. Countershading creates a visual distortion of the penguin's shadow and makes it difficult for predators and prey to see the outline of its shape in the water. So, they become more effective at hunting and at avoiding being hunted. Let's review what we have learned about different types of camouflage. Question 1. Which of the following animals use concealing coloration? A. Polar bears. B. Arctic foxes. C. Squirrels. D. All of the above. If you answered D, you know that all of these animals use concealing coloration. Question 2. What do we call the type of camouflage that occurs when the upper part of an animal's body is a different color than the color on the bottom part of the animal? A. Countershading. B. Flexibility. C. Binary colors. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. That type of camouflage is called countershading. Question 3. Which of the following animals uses countershading as camouflage? A. Peacock. B. Elephant. C. Great white shark. D. Hawk. If you answered C, you know that the great white shark uses countershading as camouflage. Disruptive coloration. Other species in the animal kingdom use a type of camouflage called disruptive coloration. These animals have spots, stripes, or other patterns to break up the outline of their body so that it doesn't stand out. Zebras are a great example of animals who use disruptive camouflage to increase their odds of survival. You might think that their black and white stripes would make them stand out and make them a target. However, their stripes work to their advantage. Zebras travel in herds. Many of their predators, especially lions, hunt at dawn and dusk to avoid the heat of the day. At these times of day, the sun creates long shadows, making it difficult for predators like lions to distinguish one zebra from another in the herd. If an approaching lion is seen by the zebras, the hunt becomes more difficult as the zebras begin running in different directions. Now it is more difficult for the lion to focus in on the zebra that he had singled out for attack. Tigers and leopards also use their stripes and spots in this way. When seen against long grass, it can be difficult to see the exact outline of a tiger. Some animals blend in with their surroundings because parts of their bodies resemble parts of the environment in which they live. This type of camouflage is known as disguise. Phasmids, or stick insects, are insects who use disguise incredibly well. There are more than 3,000 species of phasmids in the world, but they can be very difficult to spot. They look like sticks with legs. Stick animals are usually green or brown in color. The shape and color of their bodies allow stick insects to hide on the leaves, twigs, and branches of the plants they eat. Walking leaf insects, also known as leaf insects, are also masters of disguise. They too are green or brown in color. However, they have flattened, irregularly shaped bodies that look like the edges of leaves. Leaf insects move from side to side as they walk, mimicking the sway of leaves in the breeze. Marine animals are particularly good at disguise camouflage, and some take this adaptation a step further. Did you know that some species of octopus and squid can change color in a few seconds? Sometimes they change colors to hide, while other times they change color to make themselves stand out. But how? Octopuses have thousands of color-changing cells called chromatophores just below their skin. Each chromatophore has an elastic sac of pigment. The nerves and muscles of the animal make the sac contract or expand, releasing varying amounts of pigment. This controls the appearance of the animal's color. Amazingly, some octopuses don't stop there. They can change the texture of their skin too. They do this by controlling the papillae, or projections, that come out of their skin. Their skin can look as if it is covered in tiny bumps, or it can transform to have a spiky-like appearance. This helps them to blend in with all types of coral, rocks, and other animals on the sea floor. Some octopuses use their color-changing abilities to stand out. They want their predators to think twice before striking. This type of camouflage is known as warning coloration, or aposematism. Warning coloration clearly lets predators know of the animal's toxic features. The poisonous blue-ringed octopus, which lives in the tidal pools of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, uses warning coloration. If they sense danger, blue-ringed octopuses develop dark patches and bright blue rings on their skin. This certainly sends a clear message to any predators: stay away or else. Let's review what we have learned about how animals use different types of camouflage to increase their odds of survival. Question 1. Which of the following is an example of an animal who uses disruptive coloration as camouflage? A. Clams. B. Mice. C. Leopards. D. Camels. The correct answer is C. Leopards use disruptive coloration as camouflage. Question 2. What do we call the kind of camouflage in which parts of animals' bodies resemble parts of the environment in which they live? A. Disguise. B. Counter shading. C. Disruptive coloration. D. None of the above. If you answered A, you know that this type of camouflage is called disguise. Question 3. When a blue-ringed octopus changes color to warn predators, what type of camouflage is it using? A. Disguise. B. Warning coloration. C. Counter shading. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. The blue-ringed octopus uses warning coloration. Olfactory camouflage and plant camouflage. Are you ready for this discussion to get just a little bit gross? Then let's talk about olfactory camouflage. This is when animals use chemical deception to keep predators and prey off their trail. Let's look at the example of California ground squirrels. Here's how they use this type of camouflage. First, they chew on the molted skin of rattlesnakes. After they chew on the molted skin of their major predator, they lick themselves. This allows the California ground squirrel to mask its own scent. Now, the squirrel smells somewhat like a poisonous snake. This is confusing to rattlesnakes, so they are less likely to attack. The California ground squirrel is not alone in its use of olfactory camouflage. Deep in the sea, the orange-spotted filefish does the same thing. These fish live among the coral reefs of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. These clever animals keep predators away by eating and taking on the scent of coral. To its predators, like cod, the filefish smells like coral, not fish. We know that animals use camouflage to increase their chances of survival and hide from predators. But what about plants? Do any plants have this ability too? In 2009, researchers from Massachusetts discovered that a rare woodland plant does exactly that. They found that Monotropsis odorata, a plant found in the southeastern United States, uses camouflage to blend in with its surroundings. How is this possible for a plant? Scientists discovered that this unique plant uses a fungi that grows at its roots to produce its own food. Usually, plants need green coloration to enable photosynthesis, which produces the nutrients they need to thrive. Since Monotropsis odorata doesn't need this green coloration to make food, the leafy part of the plant that surrounds its flower can turn a light brown color. This protects the flower by making it blend in with its environment. But Monotropsis odorata isn't the only plant that can camouflage itself. The lithops plant found in desert areas of South America also use camouflage to keep predators away. This amazing plant is also known as the pebble plant, or the living stone, because they look just like pebbles. Its gray, fleshy leaves make this plant difficult to spot among pebbles on the desert floor. But lithops are juicy plants growing in an area that is often affected by drought. Their amazing camouflage keeps them safe from being eaten by thirsty animals. Just think about all of the diverse species that live on our planet. Adaptations like different types of camouflage have allowed species to survive and thrive in our great big world. Let's review what we have just learned about plant and animal camouflage. Question 1. What do we call the type of camouflage when animals use chemical deception to keep predators away? A. Scent warning. B. Olfactory camouflage. C. Distraction camouflage. D, A, and C. The correct answer is B. This type of camouflage is known as olfactory camouflage. Question 2. Which of the following animals uses olfactory camouflage as a defense? A. California ground squirrel. B. Orange-spotted filefish. C. Cod. D. A and B. If you answered D, you know that the California ground squirrel and the orange-spotted filefish use olfactory camouflage as a defense. Question 3. The lithops plant is also known by what name? A. Pebble plant. B. Juicy plant. C. Living stone. D. A and C. The correct answer is D. The lithops plant is also known as the pebble plant or living stone. Thinking question. What adaptations would an animal living in your town or city need to survive? Explain.